Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you for joining me on All Things Possible. Let me click this off. Thank you for joining me on All Things Possible. It is Thursday, and you guys who have been watching for a little while knows that Thursday is my favorite day of the week. It's the day I was born. And again, I always say there's something about, maybe because it was the day I was born, I don't know, I feel this peace. I feel it's closer to the weekend. I feel like it's a get ready for something good day. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me today. Those who are jumping on, say hello. I asked my friend Oscar Crawford come on. So a few years ago, I went on his podcast, and I was listening today, just kind of remembering. I think the link to that podcast is on my in my bio and Facebook. And I was listening to it today, and to hear how far you've come, it's amazing. To hear the way that I even spoke at that time, how different it was. But one thing I did notice was that I was talking still and had began. Hello, Savvy. Talking about spiritual superheroes. So I've been talking about that for a long time and have had the message that we are all gathering together. And so I thank you guys for joining me, because I find that when we learn tips from other people's journeys and we hear other people's stories and identify with something in it, it can click for us and give us an inspiration, an idea, motivation. Hello, Savvy. I haven't seen you on for a while. Yeah, and so this is why I keep doing this. I keep inviting people to talk with me and share about their journey. And I'm so blessed and honored today that Oscar is coming on. So we're going to wait a few moments. I see Savvy on, and it's asking if I want to bring Savvy on. Oh my goodness. Savvy, do you still dance? Savvy was one of my mom's dancers. She's an amazing dancer, an amazing mom, an amazing being, period. But I remember going to dance class. I miss going to dance classes. Those were good days. Take a minute, guys. While we wait for Oscar, I want to invite you to just take a few deep breaths to get yourself grounded, just to listen to a journey, to listen to a story about somebody else's life that might just click for you, like I said. And you know, I keep these kind of short because I know attention span, us humans, attention span has grown very short. And there are a few times you're listening to a message that you can listen to the whole thing, you know, when it's long. That's one of the reasons I put these videos on YouTube. Hello, my friend. Thank you for coming on. Put these videos on YouTube too. So if they go over, sometimes long videos that you don't have attention span to sit and watch right now, you could put it on play whilst you're cleaning, whilst you're driving, whilst you're walking. And that's why I'm working on the podcast coming soon. All right, let's see if we see Oscar. Oscar, if you see me on here, say hello. I see my friend Lauren on. Opal is on. My friend Savvy's on. I appreciate you guys joining me today. I'm waiting for Oscar to come on. He's going to talk to me a little bit about his journey. He has a couple of projects that he's working on too that he's going to, you know, tell us about, share. How's your Thursday going so far, everybody, while we wait for Oscar? Thank you for coming in. Come on in, have a seat. We're waiting for Oscar to come so we can talk a little bit about his journey. He is in the human relation. And I think actually Oscar does a podcast on Instagram as well. And he has retreats that I know that he does as well. Hi, Lauren. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Blessings, blessings, blessings. All right. So yeah, so he's an author. He's a personal development coach, and he helps the hurting heal and grow. I mean, what else, right? That's what our journey is about, sharing, helping others to grow. Tell her she's beautiful. I love her too. Hello, Liz. Thank you for coming on. All my friends are joining me tonight. I'm so blessed to have you guys joining me. I'm waiting for my friend Oscar to come on. He's going to share a little bit about his journey with us and what he does. Thank you guys for jumping on. All right, wait a few more moments. I know sometimes the delay, even sometimes people say things to me, or I'm saying, say hey, and I'm not seeing it right there. Blessings, my friend. Manapana is on. Yeah, and I don't see it until after I get off and I realize I've been saying say hey, and you have been saying hi, but I don't see him yet. So I'm going to wait a few moments for him to come on. How is your Thursday going? I was asking, enjoying the sound of the rain. It's raining here too. I know you're just a few hours down from me, Savvy, but it's been overcast here all day too, and raining and off and on. And so those are always, to me, good movie nights or study nights. You know, if you're studying, whatever you're studying. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're going to wait a few more moments. You guys, there's this filter on Snapchat that has tattoos, and it puts tattoos all over your face and stuff. I used to think it was so, like, ugly at first, having tattoos on your face. But lately, I'm like, I don't want to get a real tattoo, but I'm like, I'm going to get sticker tattoos and put them all over me. Oh my goodness. All right, so just a few more moments and we'll try to see. Let me send a message to him and let him know. This happens more frequently than one might think. All right, we send a message out. Hello, Mary. Yes, tatted up. I know my guest Saturday coming on. She's a tattoo artist as well. She's a lot of things. She's a healer. She is a lot of things, and she's tatted up, and I'm like, oh, I love it. All right, so he says he's on. Oscar, if you are on this live, I need you to say hello. All right, you guys, I see that you're coming on. Thank you so much. Just be patient. Just a few more moments. He's going to be on with us, sharing a little bit about his journey. And like I just said, he is involved in a lot of things, and he has his own show on Instagram that he brings people on and talks to them. About 3 years ago, actually 4 or 5 years ago, I did the first interview with him. I did a podcast. I was his guest. And then about 3 years ago, blessings, respect to you too. Yeah, I won't get one for real. But anyway, so Oscar, I had him on, and so I was listening to our conversation, and that link is in my bio on Facebook. It's called Blog Talk Show. And to hear how I spoke 3 years ago and how I speak now, it's the tone is different. The vibration is different, even though the words were there. I think it had just been planted in and it was growing and in the fertilizer. And so I can hear the difference in how I speak now. So to see how, you've come, you think you're not growing until you look back a little bit. And so I got a chance to do that today, look back a little bit and see where I came from. This All Things Possible has been growing. Actually, All Things Possible came about because I went to share a little bit about my journey before Oscar comes on. I was going to church, and the pastor had said, look how God changed Paul to Saul, and all these other people in the Bible's names had to change because the name means something. And for us to go back tonight and look at our lives and think, what would God have changed your name to? And I went back home, and I was really thinking about it and praying about it, and All Things Possible popped up in my head. And I remember thinking, there's so many things that happened to me in my life that seemed impossible for it to happen, but it happened. And there's so many more things that I want to happen that seems impossible in my mind to believe at that moment. And I know it was going to happen, and it's going to happen. And actually it did. It's so crazy. So I came back the next day, and I changed my name on Facebook to Prudence All Things Possible Kalu. And I had it like that for about a month until Facebook says you have to prove that that's your middle name. And of course I couldn't, so I had to remove it. And I had been learning so much and wanted to share, and I know the repetition helps something stick within you. And so I created All Things Possible so that I can post memes and ideas and experiments so that I can come back to, and if anybody else wanted to join me, I know there's power in numbers. And since then, it's been about 4 or 5 years now since All Things Possible has been up, and a lot of you guys have been riding with me since then. And I love you guys so much, and we are about to continue riding. There's so much things happening, and we're going to be open for the universe to bless it us even more to learn and to share with you guys, and for you guys to share with me, because I learned from you too. All right. I'm going to send him one more time. So see, this is what happens. I'll send that I'm here. Once I jump off, like I said, I know, us humans have a very short span. All right, I'm going to wait a few more moments and see him jump on. I see that he's here, meaning on face. Oh, there he is. Okay, I see you, Oscar. All right, here we go. I can bring my friend on now. So we're going to introduce to you Oscar. What? Okay. All right, Oscar, I'm getting ready to bring you on now. You guys welcome my friend Oscar Crawford. Bam! There it goes. Uh-oh. Turn it to the other side, Oscar. There you go.
I am happy to be with you.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay, good. I can hear you too. How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm really happy to be with you, and I'm sorry it took so long for me to be able to get with you, but I am here and excited as I can be.
Yes, I know. I was just sharing with everybody that we've known each other for a long time, and we actually met. I went on to your talk. It was your blog show about 4 or 5 years ago, and then we did one 3 years ago. And I was just going through it today and hearing so much of how we've both grown and seeing how much we've both grown. I remember that was the first time you were talking about your retreat with the forest retreat. But before we jump into everything, go ahead, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay, I'm Oscar Crawford, and I am Prudence's friend, which is like capital of the things that you're going to want to know. But my work is focused upon helping people heal. Women primarily 35 plus who experience childhood trauma. That is the majority of my work. I'm also a writer, an author, and a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's primarily the work that I have going on.
Yes, I love that. I know that's one of the things that's some of the things that we talked about. And one of the things that I noticed in the talk that we did was a lot of our ideas still stand firm, even though we've grown so much, it's fertilized even more. And I know you had a passion for helping women who have had trauma. And so can you tell me a little bit about how does that work? Like what kind of trauma do you deal with? How do you work with women who have had trauma?
Okay, so let me give you just a moment about how I got to this, because it certainly wasn't my plan. That force is greater than all of us chose me for this.
Yeah.
But I've been married to my wife a couple of years, and one night she woke up in the middle of the night screaming, and I looked at her and said, listen, do your best to look at me and know that I'm not whatever you're seeing, right? And then I heard about her experience. And honest Prudence, after that, almost every woman I met for the next 3 to 5 years told me that same story, to the point I had to go to therapy. I went to therapy to see what was on me.
Uh-oh. We'll get him back on. This has happened before. Facebook Live, guys.
Okay.
Hey, there you go. Okay.
I'm still there. Okay, so it didn't matter what I was doing or what level of professional woman I was dealing with. I could be out with somebody for lunch, for dinner, for some interview about some work we're going to do together. And I would be getting ready to go, and the lady would look and say, can I tell you one more thing? And it would always be that. Their brother, their father, some adult in their life had used them for sex. And so it just became very clear to me that was a calling on my life. I didn't mention I went to therapy. I had a woman here in Arizona who was a mentor for me. And so I came out to see her, and she said, silly man, women know that you are a person that they can trust, so you become the safe space. And so after that, I became away with it, and I've been doing it now for 30 years.
Wow, 30 years. I didn't realize it was that long. That's amazing. So I know you have a amount of amazing stories and experiences that you've shared. Can you tell me a little bit of like, how do you help women heal?
Okay, so the first thing that I don't do is invade women's space, right? I've never found that necessary. So in the context of getting to know women, women tend to, Okay, this is amusing to be a little bit. But all my life, women either wanted to tell me about their period or hysterectomy or any of those major events that were going on in their life. So this would always come out when I'm having conversation with women. And the one thing that I would want to know is whether or not they had had help to recover from those events and incidents in their life. And 9 and 10 times, the answer was always no. So I began to explore ways that I might be able to be available to women who'd had that experience in such a way that I could help them heal. And being present for them was first. You have to be present with somebody. You can't offer anybody anything that you're unwilling to be present with. So I would be present with them. And then I would listen for more of the things that they were trying to grow to, because I wanted to make them know that if we can work on your healing together, then you can get to the place where you can take it on your own and go and be loving and productive and do what you want to do. Yeah. So that was the initial approach. Now it's a great deal more extensive now.
Yes, I'm sure. Like I said, in growing, there's so many different tools and stuff like that to use too. So I know everybody that I speak to that does healing in some sort, whether like it be mind, body, and soul, a lot of the times, well, 99% of the time, it usually results in something that's happened when they were younger, right? Do you find that most of that is when they were younger, not when they were adults?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I found that again, it happened. That's okay. Oh no, now he's completely disappeared. Oscar, say hi again. If you see in the comments section, there you go. Okay, sorry guys.
No, I'm with you. It just keeps blanking out for some reason, and I have to rejoin.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It is storming here in Central Florida. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. But so what I was saying was that I noticed that a lot of the times that these trauma things happen to us, and obviously some traumas are seriously traumatic, and some are I want to say self-imposed, as in like they're really, if a person looking on what the average life is growing up, there's not a whole lot somebody else would complain about looking at their life, but that person experiencing it sees something very traumatic. And so I feel like trauma has a place, it has to kind of be in our lives in order for us to work through it, because that working through it brings you closer to what Godness is, right? Because you start either with the emotional part of it, and it leads to you either wanting to be physically and mentally better, or you start working with the mental part of the healing. That's all right. I don't give up so easy. Facebook or internet gods. So I'm not giving up. Yeah. So never. In the working with it, it brings you closer to God. Like no matter what work you're doing. Do you find that is something that you witness a lot too with helping women?
Okay, so there are these things that I always have to run into. And one is that women want to keep this thing that happened to them a shameful secret. They will almost die before they want anybody to know. So therefore, they stay trapped inside this limitation for a very long time. And I find that women never make a move on this until their mid-30s. Is there a spiritual component? When we have hurt long enough by trying to do it on our own, we will finally look beyond ourselves for some help. And yes, that is a turning point. But here's the thing about the way, in my view, God works. God never wastes hurts, but turns them into opportunities for redemption of whatever the experience was. So we're really looking to help people understand that they had nothing to do with what happened to them, but they are responsible for managing their life.
Yeah. Rhonda just said the trauma doesn't kill you, the secret does. And I think that's one of the things that you're blessed about, is that aura of you, like you said, women, when they see you, they feel this comfort zone that, a lot of times we're holding a lot of things in, like you said, feeling guilty and shame or embarrassed, scared to tell somebody else. And so you have that spirit. I feel like God has blessed you with that spirit so that women can feel comfortable and talk to you. Now, when you're doing that, I have to ask you, how does your wife knows that this is your calling as well too? So I imagine that she works with you as well. Okay, so I am married to an exceptional woman. There's just no doubt about that. And she has observed me work with women for this 30 years. And, I was always waiting for it. If it became an issue with her, I was going to say, hey, it's all your fault. If you never told me anything, I'd just be living my regular life. But no, she's been very open, but she's also been protective of me in my involvement with women to help them heal. This is so funny.
Okay,
Okay.
so her name is Bonnie. Bonnie's sensitive enough that she would always interpret whether or not I should make myself available to a woman to help her.
All
And,
right.
maybe 5 times in that 30 years, she said to me, uh, honey, don't be present with that woman by yourself. And,
Mm.
I heeded that direction because, I knew she was seeing something that I couldn't see.
Yeah.
So in many ways, we worked with groups of women before. We worked with groups of people before who've been through this experience. And so we've done a lot of work together. But man, this has primarily been on me.
Okay. Okay. Right. And that, I feel like that's usually what it is. Usually, each individual has their calling. And so you work on, you completely disappeared again, Oscar. There you go. You work on I feel like, we'll wait till it comes on. Hello, DJ. Okay, there we go. I was saying, so
I'm
you work
good.
on your calling, she works on her calling, but you guys meet and she supports what you're doing. So that's awesome. That's what I was trying to find out. Like, she supports it. I
Okay,
feel
so
like
here's something I've never told.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say I don't know if I've ever told you this because I don't make mention of it a great deal because I don't want people putting me in a box. But we served the church together for 30 years, right? And so we did recovery programs, treatment for AIDS programs, hunger programs, domestic violence programs. So we've been involved in this kind of work together for a very long time. People used to ask us, how do you stand working with each other all the time? I said, okay, we love each other, we sleep together, we kind of like each other. And so that's worked for us.
That's awesome. I know, and I see you guys have how many daughters? I've seen you posting their graduations and birthdays and stuff like all around the same time.
5 daughters, 1 son, and out of 17 grandchildren, maybe 11 of them are girls. I'd have to recount it again, but the predominance is always girls.
That's so
And
funny. So
we got 2 families.
Yeah.
We got 2 families, and I had 3 girls when we met. I had 3 girls when we met, and she had 2 girls and a son. So we merged those 2 families when we got together years ago.
Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. That's okay. And so something else I want to ask about too. I know you were doing retreats. Are you still well? Obviously, I know not at this moment, but is that something that you're still working on once we have more freedom to move around again?
Okay. I just need to say to you that my experience with retreats hasn't worked out that well, so I've gone to other routes. So I've written books that address the subject, and as it is right now, I have a course coming out Monday
Okay.
that is designed. It's called Healing from the Influence of Trauma, right? And the people who've registered to be part of that course, they're hungry to heal, right? And they've had some exposure to me. Most of them, not all of them.
Yeah.
They've had some exposure to me already, so they're ready to work for the next 6 weeks and to dig deep. Because I'm going to lead them from hello, this is who I am, to hello, this is the new who I am, so they can go on and live their life.
Oh, that's nice. So you created a course to work with women now.
Yes.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Can people still join your course right now, or is it filled?
No, it's not filled. I mean, you can still join the course. It starts Monday, August the 2nd. And I've set fees to register for the course. I don't want to say cheap, but they're really, really affordable. Yeah, I mean, extremely. It's $29 for the 6-week course. And, for people who follow me on social media, I gave 10 days where you could pay $10 to get to register for the course. So yeah, there's still time. If you want, before we finish, I can tell people how they can do that.
Yes, I was going to ask that you leave that information on there. Okay, and the other thing I wanted to touch on was your Instagram. You do Instagram, is it a live, a podcast? What is it on Instagram that you do?
Okay, so I do a number of things on Instagram, but Instagram Live, I did it up until the summer, and so it's on hiatus until I create a new program in the fall. There are times where we have to reinvent how we connect with people. So with what I'm doing, I got a couple of Instagram sites. One's called Oscar Crawford Media. It's information, inspiration, and entertainment. That's primarily what it is. But the people who were coming to me, who were setting aside, needed more than that. So I created another one that I call Personal Development with Oscar. And so that's the one that I'm doing this kind of work out of. So that's the one that I do lives on. And it'll probably be back in September. But then it's every morning at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard, or it'll be Mountain Standard Time by then. Arizona never changes time. That's the reason we're so goofed up with time. Right now we're on Pacific.
Okay, and then about your book, what is the name of your book and where can we find your book?
Okay, the book that I wrote to address this is called Let's Talk About Love. And it has to do with women's response to these kinds of things that happen to them as children.
Okay.
That's one. The other I would mention that would be helpful to anybody who's trying to recover from anything is called negotiated relationships. If we're going to ever fix our relationships, if we don't get smart enough, that we have to be mature enough to deal with people one-on-one, face-to-face, eyeball to eyeball, and reveal ourselves, we can't expect much to grow out of what we don't invest in. And so I'm trying to teach people how to invest and divest themselves to invest themselves in relationships so that both can grow and be okay with everything.
I love that. Is there a favorite chapter of your book that you've written?
Oh my goodness. I got to tell you no, because I am so in these works that from the first word to the last word, I'm struggling to stop. Right. So no, it's not a favorite chapter. Yeah.
So you don't have a favorite subject, you said? All of them.
No, I don't have a favorite chapter in the books.
Okay,
I don't have a favorite chapter.
Okay.
Right.
And so do you give tips on healing in the book, things that women can do to heal?
And Let's Talk About Love. Yes, I do.
Can you share some of those tips that you might be able to tell someone who's listening right now that wants to just start the healing process?
Okay, so sure. The first thing is it's just like AA. If you don't admit you got a problem, you're never going to heal from it. You know, God would have to do a lightning bolt kind of thing straight out of the sky to help someone heal that doesn't admit that they have an issue or they're too afraid to expose themselves and let people know that, yeah, I'm struggling through this. So the first thing is that. And the second thing I say is that you always have to find some trusted party that you can reveal yourself to and talk to about your experience so that you're not carrying it by yourself. I make this the equivalent sometimes. If I ask you, Prudence, how much weight you can carry, and I mean like lifting weight, how much weight can you carry? You know, you might carry 100, you might carry 150 pounds, and if you're a superwoman, you might carry 2. But emotionally, we'll try to carry tons. We'll try to carry tons of baggage and weight forever because we don't want anybody to know. And when we're all broke down and we've got no place else to go, we'll finally get willing to talk.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. It's true. We do. We carry because emotional is not showing, so we can carry a whole lot. I know. And the funny thing is, too, well, now because everybody's always like their empath, and they can't soak it in. I was also like that when I was learning. You know, I felt people's energy, and people would call me, kind of like you calling you to talk to you about their trauma. People would just call me just because they were stuck in a space and they couldn't figure out what to do. It could be with a relationship, it could be with their lives, it could be personal. Hold on. Okay. And so it would come a point where absorbing the energy became heavy for me. It would take me days for me to be able to release that. But as I continued realizing that I love doing this, I love seeing people healing from that, I got into a space where I learned how to clear that energy so I can listen to somebody else, so I can be there for other people too and build up my own energy, because that's what we're doing here as a human race. We're going to be around other human beings. So do you find that sometimes, like you said, I know you said you had to go to therapy when it first started happening to you. Do you feel that heaviness now? Or, I know you can still hear me, so I'm going to keep talking. Or do you find that, hold on. Okay, I'm going to wait because, okay, there you go. I know you can hear me when we're off, but I said, or do you find that now it's easier for you to clear your energy, or you don't absorb that? Because I think that's important for you to be able to be there to be with someone too, is to listen to them, to be able to help them, but not absorb their energy.
Okay, so one of the things that I have discovered about the word alchemy, all of us have the privilege, if we can discover we have this ability, we have the ability to alchemize energy. Right. So if a person brings to me an energy that wants to suck the life out of me, the first thing I know is that that's not me. I don't feel bad because I feel bad. I feel bad because I got some really draining energy on my life. So
I do a couple of different things too to help. I want to hear.
Okay. What I was saying, Prudence, is when I realize that I'm around energy that's not good for me, even if I want to help the person, I have to protect my own interest first before I have anything to offer. So I've got this ritual inside myself that I go shields up, right?
Yeah.
Because we have this electromagnetic field. We have an electromagnetic field around us that can reach out to 10 feet, but that's somebody's limitation they imposed on us. That is BS. We have, look, I pray a prayer.
Yes, sir.
That I broadcast love, blessing, healing, peace, protection, security, and calm, productivity, prosperity, and joy around the world. The thoughts of my mind, right, emanating in powerful waves of concentric circle energy, north and south, east and west simultaneously. We have the power to do that if we would be willing to unleash it.
Yes, I did the one time. The first time I did that, Oscar, I started off in the meditation was like, okay, right here, expand your energy field. Oop, didn't almost seem there because my eyes were closed. Okay, so the first time I did that, I was in the room and it was like, okay, your eyes closed, and I send out your energy field to the room just in case anybody does not know how to do what he's talking about. I'm going to give you a little tip. And expand your energy out. See your energy in your body out in the room that you're in. And once you feel that, then you go out into your house, around your whole house. Then you go to your neighborhood. Then you go to your city and you see, and you stay as long as you need to. Then you go to your city, then you go to your state, and you send your energy out to the world, to the continent, and then the whole world. And I felt my energy go out. I was like, oh, shit, we're powerful.
There you go. Yes. Yes.
Oh, man, that was so amazing. And then I practiced being able to hold my energy. When I worked up around hundreds of people in a call center, it was around hundreds of people. And I would sit at the call center. I actually had two of my rose quartz. I would hold them in my hands while I'm around all these people and stay quiet and meditate. And I realized I can hold and kind of protect my energy that way too. And I think that's important for people who are healers or for people who are going to healers to know too, that when you can protect your energy, you can be fully there for that person and presence there for that person, like you were saying at the beginning, to help them, you know? I think that's really cool. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, if we are not aware that we are empaths, right? And we're picking up multiple broadcasts all the time. Yeah. Until we are clear that that's not us, right? Yeah. And then we put our shields up, then we can still do what we do. But we can't do it ignorantly and irresponsibly. We have to be awake and aware enough to know when to do that. Because energy will suck you dry if you let it.
Yes, you have to be aware. I think that's important to be aware. Is there anything, Oscar, that you would like to leave a message with as we get ready to sign off here? Anything that you want to let, somebody who's looking, and because you specifically deal with trauma, a message that you would like to leave with women or men, but I know mostly you work with men.
Okay, so first thing I want to say is, nothing is gained by you continuing to hurt. Nothing is gained. Nobody is enriched or empowered by you continuing to live with hidden pain. Get it out. Talk to somebody. Get with somebody that you trust. Begin to share who you are and allow yourself to be known. Somebody else has been through what you're trying to struggle with on your own. You do not have to do this by yourself. The other thing that I want to just drop quickly is for people who might have interest in registering for the course, there are two ways. And because of who you are and how I love you, I'm going to do this for people who are listening. That the fee is $29. If two people want to come together, that can be $14.50 for both of them. They can do that. That's all good with me.
Oh, wow.
Because, that's because of who you are.
Oh, guys, you heard that. You got a discount from the crew.
Okay, so here are the places that they can pay the registration fee, and they will get a confirmation shortly after I get the information in on my end. But they can use PayPal, and the PayPal address is paypal.me/Oscar Crawford Media.
Okay.
Now, if you want an alternative, you can use the Cash App. It's okay. That one is $ Oscar Crawford Media to Cash App. Either one of those will work. But I said here on Prudence Live, right, that you don't have to pay $29. You can pay $14.50. Just bring someone with you. Let them pay the other half. I'm open to that.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. I appreciate you sharing that gift with the people who are watching with us tonight. Oscar, thank you so much for taking time. I knew everything happens in perfect divine order. We tried to do this before. I think I have your poster up on my thing because I was sure we tried to come on. And it didn't work out that time, but it was perfect timing now. I hope whoever hears this message and feels a resonance to want to reach out to Oscar. He's made an offer for a discount for you to join his healing sessions. I don't know what you call them, but they sound like healing sessions to me. I don't know what's happening with Facebook tonight. This is so funny. It keeps popping in and out. There you go. Okay. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming and sharing that with me. Before you leave off of Facebook tonight, please in the comments, if you leave that information of the link of either how they can get your class, your PayPal and your Cash App, like you were saying for the course, and any other links that you have that people might find your book, any other information that they would love to know about you on. Okay.
I got that. I will give you that link right now.
Yes, on the comments. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much for coming on, my friend. I love you. I appreciate the energy we've shared for years, and I look forward to continue growing and us sharing more together.
Me too.
Blessings. Ooh. The universe said, be ready. All right. I love you. You have a great night.
You too.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. I don't know what happened. One of my lights went out. Well, you see me in the dark, people. Oh, thank you. Here, I can do this. Put a little light in there. A little tiny light. Thank you guys for joining me. Tonight is crazy. The technology, guys, was all up here. It was diving in. He was in and out. But I hope that you got a message from that. I'm still going to upload this to YouTube because the conversation itself and the information could be helpful to somebody who has trauma. I think all of us as human beings go through some trauma. Of course, the first one is either coming through your mom's vagina or her belly. However you got out, well, not however, those two ways that you got out can be a little bit traumatic. And so we were born into this trauma. And from that moment on, we are going through experiences that helps us as we get older, go through the healing process. I believe connect to God and what God is and whoever and however God is for you. I love you all. Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining me tomorrow. You guys, he's been on like already, I think 4 or 5 times. James McDuffie is going to be on and we are going, it gets deep. It gets deep. It's fun. If you have any questions, you want to join us tomorrow again at 9 p.m. right here on All Things Possible. I love you. Greetings, blessings, namaskar.